the thing. You have a worldview too. Let's not pretend to be neutral. Yes, I follow Jesus Christ. He's the ultimate authority. Absolutely. And you have a worldview as well. You have a secularist worldview, and you're committed to that. I'm not pretending to be neutral, and you shouldn't either. Okay, good. So we have it on a table now. I'm a Christian who follows Jesus Christ. He's the ultimate authority. You're a secularist. Probably, are you agnostic? Atheist?
Maybe I'm a Buddhist.
Okay, Buddhist. Fantastic. So you have a worldview, right? That you're committed to. So we shouldn't pretend that we don't. We let them actually hook up and start talking to one another. That's what we do. So let's talk about the moral issue. At what point is it okay to kill a baby?
When they're an embryo and they're not even a child.
Yes.
And they're not even able to breathe or have a heartbeat or anything like that. And when they have a heartbeat.
No. It's something in my pocket. Okay, go ahead.
Yes, when by science's rules, if you remove that fetus, baby, lump of cells, human, whatever you want to call it, remove it from the human body, it will cease to exist.
Sure.
Because you can't feed it and clothe it.
If you throw a baby outside and let it die of exposure, it also dies the same way.
And I said not because you can feed it and clothe it, because scientifically
it can't breathe on its
doesn't
own.
breathe.
It doesn't have skin.
From the well, actually, no baby in the womb breathes. I'm answering.
No, you're cutting me off.
Okay, I'm sorry. Please go ahead.
Scientifically, if you remove a baby, fetus, again, whatever you want to call it, from a mother's body, at a certain point,
yes,
its kidneys aren't developed, its lungs aren't developed, its
yeah,
brain
right.
aren't developed. None of that is developed enough to sustain life.
Right.
Not that if you leave a baby, a 1-year-old on the street and don't feed, that's completely different.
Well, can I respond to that? So your argument is really twofold. One, its level of development is not fully developed yet. And number two, it's still dependent upon the mother. So can I ask you, if I take your foundation, because that's what you gave me.
It's not dependent on the mother, it's
Somebody
dependent
chose
on
to have that
science
baby.
to keep it alive.
No, not science. Science is a concept. Science isn't a thing, it's a concept. No, our body is not science. Science is a methodology.
Our body's biology.
Science, yes, thank you very, very much. And the biology it's dependent upon is the mother. Science is a methodology. Science is a word that is it's a word that describes an abstraction. It's a methodology. You have to have induction. You have to have the uniformity in nature. You have to use certain tools. It's a word. It's a word that describes a methodology, but it's dependent upon the biology of the mother. Correct? Right. Gotcha. So I'm trying to make sure I understand your position. Your argument is you use science to study biology. You're incorrect there, but the answer to your position. It's not fully developed. I would ask you to be consistent with that. Is a 1-year-old fully developed?
And again, I said
yes.
The difference between a 1-year-old is you know that it can survive, it can breathe, and
it has skin, it has organs, it doesn't have a tail anymore.
Yes.
Do you feel that way about people on life support?
Yes. I feel like they have the choice to choose to die.
And I personally have a DNR.
Can I kill a person who's on life support because they're dependent upon it to do the breathing for them?
If they choose, yes.
No. Thank you. If they choose. I'm asking you if I'm allowed to murder them.
Wait.
Can I kill them?
So then I find a flaw in your belief.
Please.
Because that person has that choice. They have the thoughts.
Yes.
Did you notice? You didn't hear what I said. You didn't hear what I said. I asked if I'm allowed to murder somebody who's on life support.
But they get to choose.
Thank you. How come you don't let the baby choose?
Because the baby doesn't have a brain.
My point is the person who's on life support also doesn't have a moment of functionality. They can't engage in laws of logic in that moment. They're not able to reason. They're dependent upon a machine for breathing. And I asked you if I'm allowed to kill that person.
And we have laws in place that say that hospitals cannot kill those people.
Thank you. Why? Because according to if you thought about it,
that says women are allowed
to kill their babies. Thank you. Now your argument has shifted. Now we're on to something different. And now you're arguing because it's legal, it's moral. How about slavery? It was legal.
Don't talk to me about slavery.
Why not? That's your argument. You said if it's legal, it's moral.
We're not talking about slavery.
You said if it's legal, it's moral.
I didn't say if it was...
You said we have laws that allow them to kill their babies. That's why it should be okay.
You guys like...
That's what you said.
Practice all this?
Yeah,
I didn't say anything about morality. I said it was illegal.
This is our speech.
We're not talking
You
about
said because it's legal, women are allowed to kill their babies.
up to a certain point. Yes, we've made that law.
And so I was talking about the moral issue involved when I kill somebody who's dependent
now-
upon life
So
support.
now, who is changing the verbiage? Because
I'm not changing anything, ma'am. I'm speaking directly to
is
it.
it legal?
Yeah, no, ma'am. You brought up the fact that because it's legal, they're allowed to do it.
And then you switched it to
They
legal
don't
and
have
moral.
lungs.
No,
like
listen.
breathe on their own.
All legal issues are moral issues. There's a moral component to every law that's made.
Like,
Not
kill
really.
them.
Yeah, absolutely, man. That's how it works.
There's a law that says you can stand out here on the street and show dissected up babies
To,
from,
to
from-
children. On Wednesday it was to children.
from
I thought.
miscarriages.
On
This
Wednesday.
isn't a miscarriage, man. This is an abortion.
You
know for a fact
you
that
saw
that's an
that abortion. You took the photo.
Would you like me to show you
You
5,000
saw- I'm
pictures
asking
of?
you.
Okay, let me. If you
And I'm asking you, did
Yeah.
you specifically take that picture after an abortion?
did, I know. But the Center for
Then you have
Bioethical.
no idea.
The
where that
Center
picture
for
came from.
Bioethical Reform puts these together. You can go to their website and you can actually watch abortions that have been
Have
done
you watched the news lately?
via
we have all kinds of fake
video. What's that?
Yeah.
Just because it's on the
Exactly.
internet doesn't mean it's
I didn't
true.
say because it's on the internet, ma'am, but you can see the actual medical procedure. We have lots of videos of those.
So, but that
And you took
specific
that
picture.
from that
And
procedure.
here's my point. If
And
you
you
if
took
you
that-
No,
from that
the point is that
procedure.
here if
specific
you
picture
if
is
you
from an abortion.
contest
Yes.
if you contest these babies' arms and legs from an abortion, if you contest it, I can
So
show
answer me a
you
question.
this one,
Why would
this one.
why would someone performing an abortion
Here's my question. Why
stop
won't?
cutting me off?
Okay.
I'm asking you a
Oh,
question.
sorry, I didn't know you were actually asking me a question.
I'll
Go
tell
ahead.
you why I won't look at it.
Why would someone who's performing an abortion put a quarter in it?
Exactly.
If it
To
was
show
done
you the
by a-
size, the size.
They
you
do it
so
every
many
day, they
other-
don't need
other
This
ways.
is the size, and let me tell you, I have friends who have carried the bags filled with the body parts of babies out from behind abortion clinics when they toss them out
Oh, yeah.
to give them a proper burial.
Why would you have friends like that if you're so against it?
You didn't hear what I said, ma'am. We have friends that try to give these babies a proper burial. So when these places have destroyed their bodies and thrown them into the dumpster,
So your friends are illegally going into dumpsters and getting bio
Certainly.
They're putting in.
Sure.
They're putting the bio waste in a dumpster.
Yeah.
That's
Yes, they
believable.
don't-
we've yeah,
That's
no,
believable.
ma'am. You
Of
don't know
bio
the
waste.
nature of this business.
Oh no.
Especially in the
They-
80s,
I'm a
especially in
woman,
the
and I've
80s.
been a woman
No,
my
you're-
entire life, so don't
I'm
tell
talking
me I
about
don't know the
I'm not
nature
talking
of
about
it.
your gender. I'm not talking about your gender.
I
I'm
didn't
talking
say-
about the nature of this business.
And a friend in the 80s,
You
you had a
don't
friend
know
who was a
what
dumpster
I
In
diver.
the
know
in the
about
80s,
You don't know
we
what
have
I
lots
know
of
about the
friends.
nature of this
We have
business.
lots of friends who have been in this fight since the very, very beginning,
I love
and they've
your
carried the
free printed
bodies of dead
signs.
babies out of the dumpsters of abortion clinics. Would you like to see the picture of Carmelo?
I've seen pictures.
Carmelo's a little baby boy that was saved at Planned Parenthood.
I don't know anything about.
I'll tell you the story.
Carmelo,
I'll tell you the
and
story.
you probably don't either. It's
I
probably
do.
a story you
I've held him.
always share
I've held him in my arms.
so that you can.
You don't like the Carmelo
have the
story?
satisfaction
I'll share you
of-
Olivia, Grace, and Kara. Would you like to see the twin girls that were saved from this location?
Would you like to see all the kids that are raised in poverty because their mothers
So they
can't
deserve to die.
afford to
Is that
raise
better
them?
than
So
not
they
having
deserve to
food?
die.
Not having
Okay, so
food?
now your argument is if a child is poor, they deserve to die.
No, when they don't have.
When a
That's what
mother-
your argument
no, no,
is.
no, no.
When they don't have
See,
a
the
place
problem
to
is that
sleep
you
and
keep
they're
saying
sleeping underneath
child.
a bridge.
Well, we're talking about children right now. You said poor children.
Wait, have you?
That's
have
Carmelo.
You traveled? Have you traveled?
Aww.
Have you traveled and
Let
seen
me
the
ask you.
poverty? Hold on, have
Should
you
he
gone
be
to
dead?
Other countries and
If
seen
his
what
mother
happens to
would
children
have
who don't
chosen
have.
I'm now asking you.
to do that, then that's her choice.
So how about a mother of a 5-year-old? Is it her choice to kill that child?
Yes.
5-year-old can survive.
Let me ask you. No, we're talking about. You said your argument is. I said, should Carmelo be dead? You said if it was her choice to do it, yes. So I said, okay, let's extend it. Mothers, can they kill their 5-year-olds?
Wait,
Again, you're talking about apples and oranges.
So-
A
No.
fetus-
Well, we've already addressed the level of
All right,
development
no,
argument,
we're
and you
done
have no
having the
response.
conversation Because
Yeah.
you can't
so now I want
talk
to say,
about
have
the
you traveled?
valid things.
Have I traveled?
Have you
All
traveled?
over the world.
You have.
Yeah.
So you've seen the poverty.
All over the world. Yeah.
So you've seen it.
And,
Like physically been in it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So you see these kids with no shoes
Uh-huh.
in the Amazon when their house is
I
just
haven't
a
been in the
shack.
Amazon.
Well,
It's
we
just
have.
a shack, and all they have is no windows.
Should they be
It's
dead?
literally a shack.
Okay, so kill the poor kids. Got it.
So-
That's your
Are you going
argument.
to go adopt them all?
You're gonna
Maybe you should
adopt
start
them?
adopting
We've
all
actually pled to the mothers inside here for the lives of their babies and said we'll adopt every baby that comes out of here. Our church is committed to it.
So why don't you bring a legal team out here? And
We have a
them
legal
get
team
yours?
on standby.
Oh, on standby.
On standby.
Yeah, you think that anyone would
So you're telling
agree
these
to that?
women,
Oh, we have them on standby.
No. We have a legal team that would be ready to do it completely for free. We wouldn't charge anything. No, it wouldn't cost anything to the mothers.
So this child who had that was put into peer pressure, had sex, underage, and you're gonna
Or
say
even worse, was
raped.
was molested
Yeah.
by her disgusting.
So the child deserves to die because the father's a criminal. Got your argument.
So
Okay.
I'm just saying. So this person is supposed to, even if you were to adopt it, you're telling her, we'll adopt it, but you have to hold it for that term, all the way until birth. But she can't go to school.
Who says she can't go to school?
Schools say she can't go to school.
Yeah.
There's
No. I have friends who
Yeah.
were pregnant at 16, who
Mhm.
I'm the godmother of their kids,
Mhm.
and they had to drop out of school.
What were they pregnant with?
A girl?
The kid you're a godmother to?
Yes.
So at one point they were in the womb.
So, hold on.
Do you love those kids?
Well, obviously I do, but
Should they have died?
I was also pregnant at the same time because I was stupid and I was thinking about putting my life on hold. But thankfully I didn't because I was able to.
Thankfully you
go to
didn't
school.
what?
Do you know what happens
Have
to
a
a woman
kid.
when they?
Thankfully you didn't have a
Because
kid.
I was able to go to school, travel.
So
get
okay,
an idea
I
of
understand.
the
So
universe.
you've killed your child, and that's
No,
why you
actually,
support
I
Planned
had a
Parenthood.
miscarriage. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay. Well, okay. So it's you have to forgive me. It's not normal for a person to say, "Thankfully, I had a miscarriage."
Because I was able.
That's
to
an odd thing for a mother to
because
say.
I was able
According
to
to all
travel.
of you
for
people,
you to
God in
automatically
His infinite
assume she had an
wisdom told her
abortion.
body.
Oh no, we live in a fallen world, and God is
you
sovereign.
can't.
Yes, babies die, people die, people get sick and get
The problem is
cancer.
that all you want to do is talk over
We live in a
us and
fallen
interrupt
world.
us.
I'm answering you.
No, you're not. You didn't even let me finish my sentence.
Okay, sorry. Go ahead. I have three of you talking to me at the same time. You have to forgive me.
And every three of us, you keep interrupting and talking over and trying
No,
to change the
when I
subject.
respond to your argument, that's not me talking over you. That's me refuting your
Did
position.
he not talk over all three of us?
Hey, guys, when all three of you are talking at the same time, I don't know which one to answer.
So
No, it's okay.
my point was going to be that, according to all of you God people, that God reached down and said, your body can't support a baby. We're going to spontaneously abort it with your own body.
You're attacking a straw man. I don't believe that. So perhaps your argument would work with somebody who believes that. I believe God is sovereign and we live in a fallen world. And in this fallen world that we've chosen for ourselves, there is death, there is disease, there is pain, there are tears. And yes, people get sick and die in a fallen world. You and I deal with sickness and cancer and those sorts of things in this fallen world. And yes, babies die in the womb. But here's the thing. When babies die in the womb, naturally,
Good.
that's not with malice of forethought.
So you know for a fact.
I'm glad
What you're
it's
arguing
being
for-
streamed live. I don't give a shit.
What you're arguing for is
I'm
not
just telling you, just so you knew.
something in terms of natural causes, the baby dies in a fallen world.
But you didn't
What you're
let me
arguing
finish.
for is with malice of forethought, mothers and fathers should be able to go in there and tear their babies' arms, heads, and legs off.
But you didn't let me finish. Because what I was gonna say is if I had that child, I would have been 16.
Sorry, I'm
having a
trying
kid.
to.
With
Trying to
my
make this
father
as
who's worked his
covering
every day
us
of his
all
life.
without
Every
hitting you
weekend
or
he'd
anybody.
leave for months just to put food on the table. And my mom worked 3 jobs.
Great.
Is that something that I would have to do with my kid? Because so I'm not there to raise my kid.
Do you
I
know?
have no education.
Do you know of any
I have
Do you know of any single mothers right now?
Yes.
Yes.
They work hard.
Yes.
Should their babies
Not
be
all
dead?
of them.
Some of them.
Your argument is because you would have to work hard, because life would be tough, babies should be able to be killed. That's your argument.
No,
Lacey,
you
you just
didn't.
heard
Once
baby
again,
was
you didn't let me
flawed.
finish.
Ma'am, I'm responding to what you said. You finished
But
talking.
again, you
Because-
start talking over her and interrupting
Listen,
her
guys,
before she
when you
even
speak, it's a monologue if
Don't
the person
talk down
doesn't
me
get to
like I don't
dialogue.
know how to
Right.
speak.
So I'm giving you a response to what you said.
So
So
you're
we're letting
saying
you speak and say what you have to say.
I have to
without
work
speaking
3
over
jobs,
you.
Uh-huh.
never see my kids, barely put food on the table, and them have holes in their shoes, raggedy clothes, and then go to school and people judge them, say that their parents aren't good, making them feel less than themselves. But me who decided it was better to go to school, better myself, so when I am ready to have kids, I can support them, give them the life that I believe a kid should have. Most of the girls that come here, they know that they don't have an education, they don't have money. Why would they make it hard on their kids? So for you, was your parents working 3, 4 jobs to put?
Yeah.
Did you get made fun of at school?
Yeah, I was bullied in school.
Yeah.
And I'm glad my parents didn't kill me.
Did you enjoy it?
Huh?
Did you enjoy it?
Did I enjoy it? Life is tough, guys. We don't kill people because life is tough.
Yeah. But we
You're,
like
listen,
killing
can I answer you now? Because you've had about 2 minutes to say what you have to say. Your argument is fundamentally,
2 minutes.
your argument is fundamentally that because life can be difficult, we ought to be able to kill our children because life would be hard. Have you had a hard life?
Yes.
Have you had difficulties?
Yes.
So should your parents have just killed you because your life is hard?
Get that.
Oh, definitely.
And put it out.
Your parents should have killed you because your life is hard.
Because no, my life,
like
it would have
arguing-
made it
arguing
easier
with
on
a
them.
narcissist.
Instead of working
And I-
so
So
many jobs.
your argument is that mothers and fathers should be able to kill children because life is difficult. And that's what you're walking away with. God bless you. I pray that you guys turn from your sin.
Oh, I'll hell Satan for you.
What's that?
I hope that you
What? Say it. Wait. Say it. I didn't hear you.
I hope you go to hell with me.
You said, "I'll hail Satan for you,"
And I hope you go to
and
hell with me.
you hope I go to hell with you. I pray that you don't go to hell, ma'am. I pray that you come to know Christ and His forgiveness. What's that? I can't hear you, ma'am. You're gonna have to speak up. Ah. Well, so we still alive? Okay. So that's about the normal interaction with Planned Parenthood supporters, is when you actually address their positions and they think through them, they essentially have no argumentation, no response, and so they end up ultimately walking away, because once you work through all their argumentation and get to the bottom, there is no more response, and so they walk away.
No, we walk away because it's a circular argument and you're narcissist.
What's
And
a circular argument, ma'am?
argument that we start here and we all agree that we get to here, and then you bring it right back to the start.
Ma'am, you're not even making any sense. Can you come explain?
I did explain.
No, you didn't. And that's typical. Walk away. They notice that the Christians are on the corner, ready to engage, ready to talk, and the Planned Parenthood supporters constantly walk away. They turn their music up to drown out the voices. There really is no response. You see, your movement is in its death throes. Your movement is in its death throes. This reign of terror upon children will ultimately be over. We pray that you would know forgiveness and peace, reconciliation with God, that you turn from your sins to Christ, that you'd know the one who died for sinners and rose from the dead. You see, God doesn't just rescue your soul. He doesn't just rescue you for Him in eternity with Him. He also rescues your mind. He also rescues your mind from the futile argumentation that you've engaged in to justify the slaughter of children. We pray that you would turn from your sin and trust in Christ, to know the peace and forgiveness that we've experienced. We're sinners just like you. So hopefully you guys can see that you can have confidence to come out here to engage, because their position is futile, it's fallacious, ultimately no foundation, no science. It's interesting, the Planned Parenthood supporters will often cry, "We're about science, we're about science." But once you engage in the scientific argumentation, they have no ultimate response. And so what needs to take place is Christians across the country ought to come out to places like this to plead for the lives of children and to engage with the gospel some of these women. You up?
Yeah, sure. She took one.
Good.
Did she actually take it? Yeah, she took both.
Well, what do you have to say since we're going live? Anything?
It seems like I kept thinking about like baby showers.
we don't say we're having like clump of cells showers, right?
Right.
When people look at a test that shows if they're having a baby, they don't say, oh yes, I'm having a clump of cells. They're excited to have a baby. So I don't get how they can take it from one area and then they don't keep that same idea in other aspects of their thinking.
Right.
It just doesn't make sense.
It's inconsistent.
Yeah.
Well, the encouraging thing, I think, is that this ministry has been having such an impact in this area, you can't miss it. And because it's being so difficult upon their business, they've had to try to get these Planned Parenthood supporters to come out, to drown us out, to try to work against the work that we're doing.
Yeah. And it's interesting because like, it looks like there's a lot of cars in here right now, but there's literally so many vacancies throughout the whole strip mall here.
Yeah.
Businesses keep leaving because they don't want to be next to a place that kills children.
Yeah, you have a vacancy, 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 vacancy,
One right next
vacancy.
to the Planned Parenthood.
Did anything come into
No,
where
there's
Peter
another
Jungle
one
was?
right there.
Yeah, and this one's closed over here. Yeah, so nobody wants to open a business here because we make it so difficult on Planned Parenthood. It's hard for people to come in here and ultimately enjoy themselves at these restaurants when you have people outside engaging in this kind of rational combat and testifying to what's happening in here. So listen, if you come out to Planned Parenthoods, not only do you get to save babies by the grace of God, preach the gospel, but you also get to shut down a business. Planned Parenthood. We can't forget that. This is a business. It's Murder Inc. And if you come out here, you make it difficult for them to actually do business.